here because I'm locked up. Fucking pump's not working. Mike didn't come in. He left early last night. I'm not sure if I did something wrong and the pump doesn't have prime. There's something else. I've tried to defuse it short of just tearing apart the pump and trying to get it back to prime, which is something that I don't usually do. Which is a key important thing, especially when you're living in a world like this, because that happens all the fucking time. Right now I just clocked right back out and I'm gonna go home because apparently he's not gonna be until 9. I'm still waiting on him for the messages to get back, and I just don't be standing around a dick in hand. Normally I would thermal or something. But what happened here last night was Mike left early, and I thought it was cutting good last night, but for some reason it kept amping out on this rock every single time, and it's inside of it. Maybe it's just a harder rock or something, I'm not exactly sure. But for whatever reason, it didn't cut, and I could pull it all out. That's not a problem, but I don't know if that's what they want to do. That's what I would use to burn rock, but I still don't have any water to burn rock, so I mean I could unload. That's what I could do until 9 o'clock, which I'll have that done in short order. But again, you know, when it comes to this pump, I don't know exactly what the fix is or whether it's a common thing or something. I haven't quite bumped into that problem just yet. And that's something you face all the time up here. You know, you could be a master mason, but not really know the mechanics, right? And tearing it down might be the wrong answer for how you're supposed to handle the situation like that. And that's a huge constant thing I want you to be vigilant about today. It happens all the time. When you see yourself leaving somebody else in the situation where that happens, now I'm not going to post this or anything, but that would be why critical training phase early in is key to everything. We could have eventually, on a daily rotation, eventually one of those problems had to have come up in some service rating some point in time, or early entry failures. Excuse me. And that's the kind of thing, especially early in on the training phase. You're not gonna, I mean, I've been out of the cutting game for a while, and this stuff is, you know, we're still trying to cycle through some things. So let's get through that before we can get to really awesome material or something, build a reputation, get to separating pallets the way they're supposed to be or something like that. First, we have to go ahead and build the dynamic first. And in that way, you know, you're going to be off on your cuts. You know, this was supposed to be a tread. I put it up last night. It was already at 17 and a half. But when I looked at it and I got to cutting it, it's actually a 4'16" tread. So you have to leave it in there, turn it back and stuff. And you'll lose your shirt if you're not like super keen on that or something like that, or have a good ground guy, thermaling, Sawyer's assistant, half and one half into that department, into this department, no matter how many saws you got or something like that. They all get their own special greasing maintenance things. You know, every once in a while you'll hit weird problems, like there are certain grease fittings that you don't do for whatever reason, except for on a schedule biannually or something like that, that really comes up. And if you're not into back in the day when I was at Delaware Basin, you know, these would have had their own maintenance checklist with them on the board every day. Did you grease them? When's their load times, unload times? When did you start the saw? When did you turn off the saw? And this operation isn't exactly that. So you have to be real dynamic about it. And again, I'm off the clock right now. I clocked back out. There's really nothing I could do, and I'm not wasting money short of making this video with the system and trying to present how that looks and references there. Apparently my phone's not the greatest in the world, just some burner telephone, so you know, I'm waiting for signals to come in. I got good signal, but still waiting. And it's not that I don't mind working like that. That's a really important thing that you got to deal with husbandry all the time, because you're gonna be in these spots all the time, and it's kind of easier to deal with the review like this. It really collapses it. And you know, I'm sure I'm making a mistake here too at some point in time. Leaving, not fixing the pump. What do you do? So that's my note for today. I'm probably gonna clock out here in a minute and just head back say hell with it for the day. If Mike wants to come in and do that, then that's what that is. Probably ought to call the office to make sure. But at the same time, you know, they might just, you know, then I'm there for half a day or something like that, and then they'll send me back over and I really ain't got the gas for it. So at 6 o'clock, 6:30, we stay in an 8-hour day mandatory. Is it one person acceptable inside of here too? I think, you know, with me, I'd say, again, it's a little bit, me and Mike, it's a little different. I think we both have experience levels where you could have said where you can say M2 to the situation as long as you have material for it or something like that. But on something like this, you can't do it. You know, at best, you might be mechanicking something that's way off the farm for what regular day is, until you've been in this place for that kind of long enough, I think is the best way. I'm going to word it here. Besides tearing down the pump and trying to prime it or something. Yeah, you know, catch you on the next one.